I wanted to do a video today about EQ and how to use it towards the end of your chain to polish up your tone overall. I brought in a different plugin from Logic. This is just a regular old channel EQ, and all it's going to do is give a visual representation of what my changes on the Helix is going to look like. So let's get started. So this is a pretty basic clean tone. I have some drive in there. We'll turn that on in just a second, but it's just a basic stage 1 drive is what it's going to be. We'll get to that when we need to. So let's look at the EQ. A lot of times, if you're not using it in your cab block, what you're going to want to do, right now I have low cuts, and they're fairly low. 80 hertz is pretty low, and you can see it here reflected right about that 80 hertz mark. You can see it have that drop off. What I actually am going to do is bring this up a little bit to 100. You should see this change as with it. Real subtle. I'm going to switch to my bridge and I'll pick up on drive. So right now you can see all we're really missing that I want in there is the mids. So right now let's not worry about the low frequency because I already cut out what I wanted to with the cabs. Let's work on the mids. We're going to put it right about 15, let's do 14. Okay. And then we're going to boost it. We're going to give it a little mid boost, probably about 3 dB. Let's see if we can get that reflected. You can see just a little more mid information. I'm going to make it a little more narrow. So we can bring it up even more. Cool. And then we're going to use the high frequency to darken the overall tone. We're going to bring it down around 4K. Bring it down about 3.5 with a pretty wide Q. Let's bring it down even more. Cut down. So the reason I'm bringing it down to make it so dark is because, as a lot of you guys know, I'm sure by now, is with the Fletcher-Munson effect, what happens is as you increase the overall level, your ears will pick up more of the high end. So it's not that it's not going to be there. I'm just basically compensating for it so that when I get on a loud stage and outputting through a PA, those highs are not going to be piercing, and the sound guy's not even going to have to worry about them. If you have them in there, it's really not that big of a deal, because as a sound guy, I would hear that immediately and just put a high cut on you. But you never know what you might get with some sound guys. Anyway, all right, let's have the distortion. Definitely brighter, which again, I don't want that. It sounds better, honestly, it sounds better just playing alone these chords without this EQ, but the whole purpose of it is for it to sit well in the mix. So so that's what I'm going for any EQ after, as like the last effect. Now, if you want to use EQ before your amp, usually you would do reductive EQ. So let's go with the parametric again. And this, we're going to focus on some nasty frequencies that kind of peak. And we can really focus in and take them out. Let's take the distortion off. So this is how I want to EQ it before it even hits my amp. So let's see what we got. Bring it up a little bit. Let's find a high frequency to take out. So a lot of times what you'll use EQ before the amp out is for reductive stuff. If you have some troublesome frequencies with your actual guitar, this is basically just changing the EQ of your guitar before it ever hits anything, and then you can polish it with an EQ after the cabs. You give it a nice warm live ready sound. All right, thanks for watching. I hope that helps some of you guys.